The first skill that you need to become a master in this journey, the entrepreneurship journey, is of course sales. You need to learn how to sell. And there is no other way. There is no way around it at all. You need to learn how to sell. Every person that you see on cover of magazines are excellent salespeople. I really don't care if they were a financial guru, an inventor, or whatever. They had to sell their way to the top. I am SEIF Hakim, serial entrepreneur and your success mentor, founder of the Alpha movement, and people call me the Alpha. And that's for a reason, of course. The Alpha Talks podcast crafts you and your business into an alpha, not for the faint-hearted. When you point the transformation, you get the buy-in of people. Most people don't talk about the transformation in their sales pitch. What I want you to do, I want you to always start with the transformation. I want you to start with the future vision for the client or the customer and how life will be better. So always start by speaking about the transformation. Hello, my passionate alphas and entrepreneurs. It's great to see you back in the third episode of the Alpha Talks podcast. So how do you feel so far? I hope you learned a lot about yourself. And you know, self-knowledge is a very powerful tool for staying on track when the ride goes tough. And it will. Now it's time to equip you. Now it's time to give you the skills you need to be a successful entrepreneur. This first skill is the most important for yourself and your business as well. Everyone thinks that they know this skill very well and they think that they perform it at the top level. And even those, the people who call themselves professionals. But from my experience and what I witnessed, they don't do it that well and it's costing them a lot. So in this episode, I will outline this and other skills that it's needed to be a successful entrepreneur and how to perform it correctly. And that's the important part. And I also want you to keep an eye on the 3 grave mistakes that most people do in the entrepreneurship journey and in these skills particularly. And trust me, I've made this mistake and these mistakes as well in the past. And if you listen closely, I'm sure I can and will be able to reduce and dramatically reduce the learning curve for you. This episode is about equipping you and giving you the skills you need for the ride. In the previous episode, we've talked about the warning things to warn you what's coming ahead. But now I want to give you the skills. I want to share with you the skills that you take in this ride and will turn this ride into a rocket ship to the moon and become a very successful entrepreneur. So first of these, I would say 5 essential skills you need to become a great entrepreneur. But let me start by saying that every great leader, every great person you see on the cover of magazine have mastered this skill and mastered also the 5 essential skills that I'll be covering in the coming episodes as well. So I will try to simplify it for you of what is essential and what is core skills. The first skill that you need to become a master in this journey, the entrepreneurship journey, is of course sales. You need to learn how to sell. And there is no other way. There is no way around it at all. You need to learn how to sell. Every person that you see on cover of magazines are excellent salespeople. I really don't care if they were a financial guru, an inventor, or whatever. They had to sell their way to the top. They had to sell their product. They had to sell their ideas to investors. They had to sell even their ideas to their employees. They're masters in sales. And they had to become excellent in sales as well. Nobody is born excellent in sales. But these people mastered the skill. And that's why they sold their way to the top. And that's why I say this is the first and most important skill you need to equip yourself with. And you must become an excellent in it. But here's a mistake you make in sales. And how I call it, you are a fool in love. And let me say this again, you are a fool in love. So let me explain this. But first, I want you to pause now, the audio or the video, and I want you to write down, what do you love about what you do? The business, the industry. And hold on here with me, because I'm about to let you know the great inhibitor for you being a great salesperson. So pause and write, what do you love about what you do? Before we start, let me share with you the 3 grave mistakes most people do in sales. And let's start by imagining one thing. Let's say you're walking across a conference room and you see this gold lantern on the conference room table and you decide to rob it. And here comes some sort of a blue crazy genie out of it. And this genie will grant you 1 wish, not 2 and not 3, just 1 wish. It's busy, I need to go back. And this wish is gonna make you become the number 1 in the marketplace. And number 1 in the marketplace in 4 options. Number 1, the best product in the marketplace. Number 2, having the best leadership and talent. Number 3, you have the best sales and marketing machine. Number 4, you have the best margins and profits. Which of those 4 are you going to choose? Think about it a little bit. Let's say you said the product. You want the best product in the market. But let me tell you, that's the mistake most people make. They focus on the product. They think that the product is the thing that makes the difference. But it's wrong. So let's look at the product as an option. You chose the product. And let me ask you this question. What is the number 1 restaurant in the world? Now we're having all these celebrity chefs around us, and everyone says, talk about his specialty. They have the great menu. They even talk about the atmosphere, the design of the restaurants, and so on and so forth. But what is the number 1 restaurant in the world at the end? It is McDonald's. Do they have the best product in the world? Absolutely not. Yet, they're the number 1 restaurant in the world. Let me ask you another question. What is the number 1 water in the world? We also have all these celebrities around us. They're either having their own brands of water or they're endorsing some other brands like Paris Hilton, Ronaldo, Jennifer Aniston. They all have their brands of water. But what is the number 1 brand in the world? It's Dasani. And why? Why is that? It's because it's a product of Coca-Cola. And what is Coca-Cola known for? Of course, not the best product. It's known for the best sales and marketing machine. So here is the number 1 mistake that most people make in sales and marketing is they're in love. They are in love with their product. That's a mistake. That you are in love with your product versus that you're in love with your sales and marketing. Because the ultimate success depends here on the sales and marketing, not on the product, whether you like it or not. That's what differentiates and that's what brings success. So let's go back and say, for example, you chose that the genie grants you the best leadership and talents. So let me tell you also, there is the movie called Ocean's 12, which had the best celebrities, actors in it, but was beaten out of the box office by what? My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which had no stars at all. No stars. So sometimes having the best leadership, the best talents also doesn't guarantee success. For the people who chose margins, and of course your accountant, your CFO, is pushing you for having the biggest margins in the market. But let's face reality. 50% margin from zero is what? Is a big donut zero. So here is a success reality that I want you to have a grip on. Your success is about 10% the product. Why I'm saying 10%? Because of course you need to have a decent product that people likes it, accept it at least. And 90% about your sales and marketing. But the problem here is what? The majority of entrepreneurs, they focus 90% on the product and 10% on sales and marketing. And they wonder why they're not successful. And I want you to know that very well, that all business strategies are sales and marketing strategies, period. Nothing more. So your whole business plan is nothing but sales and marketing plan. Keep that in mind. So if I ask you now, what business you're in, I want you to think and answer that. What business you're in? You can tell me you are in real estate. You can tell me you are in manufacturing. You can tell me you are in consultancy. You can tell me you are in manufacturing or fitness or. But here we go. You're not in real estate. You're not in manufacturing. You're not in consultancy. You're not in fitness. You are in sales and marketing business, which happens to sell fitness membership, consultancy, manufacturing products, so on and so forth. And that's the thing I want you to get your head around. Because once you get your head around, things will change. You need to focus on sales and marketing. You need to focus 90% of your efforts on sales and marketing. But most entrepreneurs don't do that. You don't put enough time, effort, energy in sales and marketing. So let's move to mistake number 2. Once I was consulting a CEO, a friend of mine, and he said, very simple, I want to communicate what's in my heart. And I was like, no, you don't need to. And he said, why I don't need to? I said, simply because nobody gives a damn what's in your heart. Because it's not about you. And here is the mistake most people make. You are in love with your message. You are in love with what you see. You are in love with what's in your heart. Versus being in love with your client, being in love with their outcomes, being in love with their future, being in love with their potential opportunities. Let me ask you a question. What is the number one quality of a great salesman? You can tell me building relationships, the passion, but I'll tell you, no, it's empathy. Empathy is simply understanding how someone feels, how someone else sees, and how someone else perceives. And that is empathy. Saying this, I want you to do the following. I want you to sleep with your clients. And what I mean by that is I want you to get in their bed. And you know this moment when you get into your bed and you start to relax and you start looking in the ceiling and you start to think about or recapping your day, thinking about the challenges that you face, thinking about the obstacle that you're going through. This is the moment that I want you to get into the bed with your clients. And that's what I want you to do, to get in their bed and feel what's going in their gut, feel what's going in their heart when they stare at the ceiling, their hopes, their dreams, their pain. You have to lie in their bed to get into their head and to get into their heart. What are their problems? What are their worries? What are their fears? What are their challenges? What are their hopes, goals, and ambitions? So what do they need? It's not what you think they need. It's what they think they need. And there is a big distinction here, alphas. What you think they need, it's not important. What they think they need, it is the important thing. So let me give you an example. Let's say you are a car salesman and you're walking in the parking lot and you see a guy standing near a classic old car and you jump to him and you start like smashing him around. Like, you need a new car. The old car is like kind of shit. You need a new car. It can do this. And 10 minutes through your lovely speech, the guy stops you and tells you, you know that this kind of old car, classic car, is the car of my grandfather. And every summer he used to take me to the lake and drive to the lake in summer. And this brings me the warm feelings, the memories. Can you imagine? You just insulted the man. So until they perceive a need, there is no need. Even if you see there is a need. That's really an important distinction. It's not what you think they need, it's what they think they need. And always remember, there are only two reasons people make a buying decision. And you really need to understand these. It's either because of a problem that they think they have, and I said they think they have, or an opportunity, they think it exists. And in both, I said they think, not you. That's why I'm saying get into their bed, to get into their head and their heart. So let's talk about the mistake number 3. You are in love with the feature and the benefits of your product. And it's all over your brochures, your websites, and all the marketing assets you have. Versus the transformation, and versus what it does for the client, and versus what's the transformation of the experience it gives to the client. And let me give you an example for this. Let's say you sell a sales efficiency software, and you're standing in front of the clients giving a presentation, and you can say like this exactly. Our software can improve your efficiency by 16%, and it will increase the sales by 40%. In 90 days by creating what you call like synergy, collaboration between your departments. Bam, your brains just got numb, I'm sure. Or instead, but take care, in all what you said before, you just said the features and benefits of the product, but really the brains of the people will get numb. So instead you can say that. You say, this is Adam. He's the vice president of company ABC. He's an old school guy. He uses pen and paper and hates using computer. Now Adam wanted to expand his sales, so he bought the software from us. And he learned it in 10 minutes. And he's using it now for 6 months. Now this is a postcard I got along with a thank you note from Adam. And in this postcard, you can see that that's Adam, his family, and his kids. He took them for a 2-week vacation to the Maldives. Adam now is a hero for his family. He paid for everything with the big bonus he got from the company by increasing the sales by 40% over the last 6 months. Adam gave me his number and said, you're welcome to call him anytime because he's happy to just talk about how good is this software for him and was good for his company. I can show you the exact system that we built for Adam and the company and how you can get the exact same results. Are you interested? Can you see the freaking difference? I just pointed in the second version, I just pointed the transformation. When you point the transformation, you get the buy-in of people. Most people don't talk about the transformation in their sales pitch. What I want you to do, I want you to always start with the transformation. I want you to start with the future vision for the client or the customer and how life will be better. So always start by speaking about the transformation. Now I want you to pause again, and I want you to take a moment and write half a dozen of transformations for the client by using your product or service. Just half a dozen of transformation. Keep it next to you. And I want you to remember one thing. The transformations connects with people. Features and benefits doesn't connect, because simply transformation connects emotionally. Remember that. Always start with the transformation. So, alphas, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha. That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha and left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.